Good, beautiful morning, everybody, and welcome to the Saturday edition of Shortcuts for Your Soul. Today I have with me the energy of Archangel Michael, who wants to talk about the concept of un-enslaving yourself. Un-enslaving yourself. A very fascinating subject. It came up when I was wondering, what is it people need to do to get out of their unhappiness and their misery? And you said that you have to first and foremost learn to shift and change the authority that is governing your mind and body from the external world to your own consciousness, that you must become the conscious and deliberate regulator of your own thinking, believing, and doing. The vast majority of you are extremely manipulated. When I use the term un-enslave, I refer to the fact that the vast majority of you believe that what you need to think and feel, say, and do must come exclusively from outside of you. That you have to find something outside of yourself to inspire you. And yet, the very nature of your being is that you are that source of inspiration. You are a divine spark. But you are encapsulated in ideas and beliefs, and the physical world is being more real than you yourself are. And yet, the real world is a fabrication, a manifestation of consciousness, not the source of consciousness. Matter is a manifestation of consciousness, not the source of it. You are consciousness. Your world, as you experience it individually and collectively, is a manifestation of your consciousness and not a product of what is occurring in the physical space of time. Your time is very short in how long the effects of the existing consciousness will produce less than favorable conditions to exist in this dimension in the fashion you currently do. So your time is limited to shift your consciousness from the vibrational spectrum of fear. When I say the vibrational spectrum of fear, I am referring to any vibrational energy that is in the spectrum of fear, whether it is from the frequency of a little bit of irritation to great hatred and everything in between. Irritation, frustration, annoyance, anger, depression, sadness, anxiety. These are all in the spectrum of fear. And you need to shift from the spectrum of fear into the spectrum of love. The consciousness governing the human experience predominantly is that of fear. It is why you have so much confusion going on, so much disease and death, and now war compounding the process of this experience in time and space. You have called upon me and many others to assist you in liberating yourselves from these negative energies. And it is important you understand we can loan our energy to that cause, but you must carry the torch. We can light the torch and offer you inspiration, ideas, beliefs that can assist you in moving your consciousness from the attraction to the fear frequency back to the attraction of the love frequency. Love is creativity. Love is joy. Love is excitation. Love is manifestation. Love is vitality. Love is health. The spectrums of love and fear are very different one to the other. They meet somewhere in the middle, the place where you are neither love nor fear, where you are simply in what your dear one, the Buddha, says is the middle path, where you are neither hot nor cold. But it has also been said that if you are neither hot nor cold, I'll spit you out of my mouth, is the issuance of the divine. But the middle path is a good one, but it is not one that while you're in a physical embodiment that is very easy to stay on. And so to polarize yourself to the function of love becomes more valuable than to stay in the vibrational frequency of fear. And there's a great deal of information going on in your senses to stimulate, to keep you enslaved to your senses, believing that only what you see, smell, touch, and taste and hear can be done. And we will continue to aid you with ideas and inspiration if you avail yourself of them. Or you may continue to leave your minds open to the influences of fear, anger, distrust, guilt, and shame, which is grotesquely propagated in your systems of entertainment. Attacking one another is considered to be a valuable sport. To beat each other is considered a valuable sport. This makes no sense from the perspective of the frequency of love. Championing from a physical perspective often has been led to things such as war, where one must destroy the other for the other to feel of any value. And so you go after each other for this reward, and there's nobody at the end of it, because both often end up suffering equally in the long run. And so you will find yourselves struggling with these influences that are very tempting. They can smell and taste and even sound very beautiful. To shift your consciousness from fear to love, you must let it go. You must pull your attention away from these things that keep you enslaved to fear. Much of your systems of so-called entertainment have very little to do with elevating your consciousness collectively upward, but keep you corralled and enslaved in the spectrum of fear, which leaves you reduced to being not much more than an animal living for survival, fighting for your food, like a pack of wolves, the most dominant one getting that which they can because they are the most dominant. And this is well illustrated in your currently structured civilization on this planet, that those who are most dominant will get fed, and those who are not so dominant will get the scraps. And while from the perspective of survival this has value, as you can survive and maintain a certain strength and integrity in the function, the physical nature of that animal. In the case of wolves, you can see clearly that the most dominant one stays strong for a certain period of time, but eventually it will be taken down as another one will come, and another one will come, and another one will come. And this has been the cycle on the level of survival. On the level of creation, which requires a function of love and not a function of survival, a very different process can be enabled. But it also requires that the individual ascend themselves to a state of awareness that allows them to access, understand, and comprehend their unique function. And what you have that prevents this on the planet today is an educational structure that places everybody into a unified process of learning. And so individuals are then corralled into a single mindset. And those that can offer the most to humanity often get amalgamated into a system of education and learning that marginalizes their unique talents. And so you have more and more dysfunction appearing in your society as those that are not designed to learn and evolve in the systems of education you currently have are damaged or hurt by a system that does not allow the consciousness to expand at the rate and in the way that it is capable of. A transcendent spiritual society understands that each and every individual has within them a divine spark that can be ignited given the right situation and circumstances. For many tens of thousands of years, you've operated as hunter-gatherers, as great civilizations would evolve out of that eventually, rise and fall again, back to the polarity of control and authority and power. But the function of a spiritual society that is based in love, respect, with regard to body, mind, and spiritual function. Like, what is your function? You do not realize the uniqueness of your own being, but you are engrossed in the world, feeling this empty, hollow space inside yourself that is really a yearning to be who you are and not to conform to the existing standards that are being imposed upon you both by your systems of learning, your systems of government. These things restrict the natural, vital, spiritual flow of individual consciousnesses, as do the structure of the hunter-gatherer mindset has established a very beautiful and unique way to exist, but then the function of survival takes dominance over that. Your civilization is thriving because there has been, over the last 300 years, the ability to allow individuals to shine uniquely, to present to the pool of the human collective consciousness ideas that are beyond the scope of survival, beyond the scope of simply hunting and gathering. The conception of being able to explore among the stars, a new consideration for this civilization, that you can go beyond the realm of this planet and explore and experience a whole new dimension of life, different than what you are familiar with. But if you cannot go forward into that with love, then you will end up into a universal system of, well, another form of survival between yourselves and other species similar in nature to yours. So we want to assist you in shifting your perception individually and collectively from fear to love. And in that context, when you call upon us, we will attempt to shift you from fear to love. But if you call on us to say, take away my anger, take away my fear, well, we will simply say then, let it go. Choose to function, to speak, to walk, to talk, to act as love towards your body, towards your mind, and towards the world around you. To question and consider, what is the function of love? Love does no harm. Fear will always harm. Love nurtures and aids in the thriving of something, whether it is your body or a garden or a neighbor. Love assists in the flourishing of life. Fear works on the survival of life, of having to fight something to achieve something. And for many civilizations, this process of ascension has been presented time and time again. And when you understand the concept of eternity, well, there is no concern for time as to when a civilization will become enlightened. Your sciences call them different types of civilizations, type 1 and type 2. They have these number systems for civilizations that are more enlightened than a previous civilization in its development. And you must know full well that you are certainly low on the scale of that structure of civilizations, as although you have the foundations in place, you do not have the consciousness in place. Which brings us back to the consideration to un-enslave yourself from fear and anything that would keep you in fear. Do not let your senses be filled with anger and judgment. Do not offer anger and judgment. Do not offer fear to the world. Do not accept it from the world. Consider the establishment of love. And what is love? Not the contrivances of your Valentine's Day and the contrivances of gifts and presents as being the function of love, although these can be certainly extensions of gratitude and appreciation and respect to another. The actual function of love is a function that enhances, improves, and expands the capabilities of one's creative consciousness while in a physical dimension and in other dimensions. But we're primarily concerned with this dimension and your species at this time, that you must shift your consciousness. When you shift your consciousness, your economics will change. If your consciousness shifts from love to fear, your economics will change into control and power and authority. When your economics shifts to love, then there is prosperity, vitality, proper education and instruction. the function of fear and survival will cause industries to create things not for the benefit of humanity, but for the benefit of profit and egocentric pleasures. And we've heard it said by many of you that, well, we only live once in this world. I might as well do what I can while I'm here. But let us tell you, you do not only live once in this world, and you will soon find out, those of you that speak those words, that flesh is but a mechanism through which your consciousness articulates itself. Your flesh is but a mechanism that articulates the expression of a consciousness. You express through this. Like a puppeteer, but you believe that you are the puppet. And this is the enslavement, to believe that you are somehow less than what you actually are in your consciousness. And you must come to understand that you are not bound only by flesh and time and space, but you are immortal in one sense. And this is the other consideration that comes up that often waylays many civilizations. Well, if I am immortal, then what do I have to worry about what I do here and now? There are effects for your causes that will follow you in your consciousness, because your consciousness is what you are. And you will take your consciousness from the form you are in to another form. And you will take with you the causes and effects of your own manifestation. And so many of you coming into this world now in positions of physical challenge and difficulty, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, you bring forth the causes of certain effects. And those that propagate and perpetuate the suffering of others will carry that cause forward into their next incarnation. There is no coincidence that there are so many of you here suffering on earth. When you consider in the last 2,000 years the havoc of war and destruction for greed, power, and authority, that so much destruction would be sown and so much would be reaped as you are observing and experiencing now. The manifestation of certain practices of healing and medicine as you have today in modern civilization are effects of those causes where your selfishness and your greed have revisited you in lifetime, so that even those that you are closest to begin to suffer, and even those of you in high authority from the purpose of your political machinations and your function of economic leveraging. Even those of you in these positions of authority are seeing that those that are close to you are getting ill in spite of your best efforts, in spite of the best money and resources. That illness still is visiting even you who think that you are immune because of your power, control, and authority. Because you cannot escape the effects of your own causing. Whether it is from this lifetime or previous lifetimes, you will carry the effects of your own causing forward. And that is something that we cannot change. We can aid you with knowledge and information and simple, practical ways of gaining proper, healthy authority over your mind and body so that your consciousness can begin to perhaps rearticulate itself or reorient itself out of the spectrum of fear and back into the spectrum of the consciousness of love, which will cause a great flourishing. And you got to see some of that in the last 100 years. You got to see a great flurry of growth and creativity. Unfortunately, at the foundation of that, one of the foundations of your flourishing of prosperity and vitality was also based in power, authority, and control, because you have not released that from your consciousness yet. And so even such great goodness that was produced, the ability to feed so many, the ability to create and design and manufacture, is still built on the foundation of fear and power, authority, and control. And at the moment you begin to release that function, you will begin to restore yourself. The minute you release this need to be in control and power and authority over others, and begin to orient your consciousness to your function of love. When this is done on a very grand scale, that is, your systems of learning, are now teaching what is the soul, who are you, what is your purpose for being here. Not what you are here to do. Are you here to be a butcher, a baker, a candlestick maker? Are you here to be a laborer? No. Who are you? You may have to do these things in order to gain the knowledge of who you are again, to learn that. But that is not necessary. The function of education, if it shifts itself towards aiding the individual to know who they are as a physical organism, that a body that has certain rules and laws, that you have a system of information called your mind that you acquire through your 5 physical senses under the domain of a unique personality that you label yourselves with, or get labeled with, the name that was given to your body, and that under that name is all of the information you've acquired to become conscious and articulate that what information goes into the system will affect what comes out of the system, and that you can alter and change information in your own mind. You can enhance and improve the vitality of your own body. You can learn certain fundamental things that will enable you to shift your consciousness from fear to love. The existing educational system has the infrastructure in place to begin to teach children the process of knowing themselves, understanding that they have and can have an authority over their body, their vitality, their well-being. And there are such places already. You call them monasteries. You call them temples, which were initially designed to train those who truly wanted to shift their consciousness. And many of these temples have become places to demonstrate mastery over the body and mastery over the conscience, but very few of these places truly serve that pristine purpose of awakening and ascension. But the existing infrastructure is in place that such a thing could occur, that you could teach your children how to use their emotions, how to use their bodies, how to connect to the source of all information, to be guided and inspired, not by the senses, but by the spirit. Your existing educational systems have the infrastructure to begin that process. Unfortunately, your existing educational systems, because of the karmic elements of those in positions of authority, power, and control, which they carried over from previous lifetimes, are still seeking to sustain and maintain that control, create greater confusion and uncertainty as they carry that with them. You carry the effects of your own causes with you. Confusion, greed, violence. These must be released. Not just from those in the general population, but also from the minds and consciousness of those in positions of authority and power. And when you're willing to shift the consciousness of all your peoples towards love and away from fear, well, a great change will happen. And you cannot make the truth into a lie and expect it to be believable. Nor can you make a lie into the truth and expect it to be believable. The truth is truth, and the lie is a lie. And if you continue to propagate the truth as a lie or the lie as a truth, the confusion will continue to expand and grow and eat away at the very heart of this civilization globally, as it is doing so now. While there are still pockets of common sense, there are still these elements of common sense, these pockets of common sense that are still governed by power, authority, and control. For those of you that understand that we exist, archangels, deities, spiritual entities, ascended masters, for those of you that understand that we do exist, we will respond to you. If you ask for our guidance, we will respond. If you want to surrender your anger and your fear and your suffering We will guide you in that process. It is not difficult to let go of anger when you understand how you're holding on to it. It's easy to let go. So do not think that you are lost or left in despair by God or angels or archangels or your guides. You are not left in despair. You simply have to understand how to turn away from it, how to engage it differently than you believe you are now. Training your mind, teaching your mind, teaching your body to be still, to be quiet, to be peaceful. Begin here. Hear these words. Begin to teach your mind and your body to be still, to be quiet, to be peaceful. You might even feel the clarity of that concept in how I speak these words to you. Teach your mind and your body to be still and quiet and peaceful. Pull your attention away from those things that would keep you in such confusion and uncertainty. Go to a quiet space as frequently as you can and teach your mind and body to be still and quiet and peaceful, so that the world no longer holds you in its grip. Because when your mind and body become still and quiet and peaceful, that is when you, dear soul, can begin to hear our voices. When the world has not enslaved you to its fears and its madness and its uncertainties. In the quiet repose of your own consciousness, you'll begin to remember the beauty of your own being, the very nature of teaching your mind and body to be still and quiet and peaceful. That very function, when you elect to make that something that you will do, when you decide, I'm going to teach my mind, because your mind is yours to teach, or you can let the world teach it. Your body is yours to teach, or you can let the world teach it. You can give authority to the world, but that authority that you give away is at your own peril, as many of you are already discovering, that your confusion, your frustration, your uncertainty about who to choose and what I should do and who should I vote for and all these different things that you have going on in your mind. That is because you have given yourself to the world. But when you begin to say, I will teach my mind, my body, to be still and quiet and peaceful, when you make that a decision in your own consciousness and you go away from others to the quiet space that you can find, no matter where it is, find some quiet space and commit to teaching your mind and body to be quiet, calm, and peaceful. When peace begins to emerge as a result of your own assertion to have your mind be quiet and your body still, in that space of silence, your attention will be away from the world self. You'll begin to become un-enslaved from the world self, and you'll begin to experience yourself as you are again, as this exquisite and remarkable being that is not simply a mishmash of information and sensation, but that you are a divine entity. And in the stillness of your consciousness, you'll begin to feel the vibrational state of your own being. And your body will feel it. When you begin to be what you are, your mind and body will begin to vibrate differently as you move into being what you are. You will even feel your mind and body vibrate differently because of you and not because of the stimulations of the world. And when you can establish your own authority over your own mind and body, then you can begin to establish your own authority in the world, what it is you are here to express or be or do. But when you're enslaved to the world self, the one that has been imposed upon you by the environment, well, it is very difficult then. Unless you make this decision to teach your mind and body to be still, to be quiet, to be peaceful. And in the stillness, and you've heard your master say these words, be still and know I am God. In the stillness you will find Him that you seek, your source, the source of your life. But in the noise of the mind and the world self, it is very difficult to hear. You cannot hear when there's too much noise. But you may say, be still. You may still the waters of your mind and the distraction of your senses. You may quiet them down, and in that stillness, allegorically speaking, our brother and Master Jesus says this in the metaphor of calming the seas. This is your mind to calm the seas, to teach and train your mind to be still is to calm the seas. And in that act of stillness, in your willfulness to teach your mind to be still and quiet and peaceful, and there are, of course, simple techniques to instruct your mind and body very differently. The modulation of your internal voice tone being one of those mechanisms, allowing the body to relax and release and let go. There are techniques to teach your mind and body that you can instruct them to be still. That when they are still, you'll begin to know yourself as something unique and distinct from the framework of the personality that you've been endowed with by being in this physical dimension that was given to you at birth and added to subsequently. So know that we are here with you. You are not alone. Love is the way. But it's not just simply words, love is the way. Love has very fundamental actions, thoughts, words, considerations, as does the function of fear. But in the moment you are able to deliberately and intentionally quiet and calm your mind, you'll begin to experience yourself as you are. And we have seen this many times when people have encountered us and we've instructed them to gently quiet the mind, to not attack it, to not be angry or frustrated with what is going on inside, but to be the voice of love and compassion to your own mind and body. And we've seen it many times when one asserts such love and compassion towards their own mind and body, and not depend upon the world to be that source of passion, for the kingdom of God is within you. That when you become that assertion of love within your own mind and body, you begin to remember that you are a function of love, an extension of divine grace into a medium of time and space, with the opportunity to articulate the divinity of your expression, or remain subjective and enslaved to the perceptions that have been foisted upon you by the world, or you continue to reap the effects of your past karma, the things you've done wrong in other lifetimes. You cannot escape your causes, and you cannot escape your effects, but you can change your causes and change your effects. Even after many lifetimes of brutal rule, and we've seen this, there have been many masters that were once very insidious and dark individuals that have surrendered their rage and their anger and their self-importance and restored themselves to love. And therefore restored humanity to love a little bit further. And each and every living soul on this planet is equal in potential, but differs greatly in one's ability to realize that potential. But first you must begin the first step to teach your mind and your body to be still, to be quiet, to be peaceful. So I'm laughing because as Michael's speaking, there's this beautiful ringing sound every time he speaks. I don't know if you can pick the microphone's picking up, but there's like this ringing sound. Anyway, it's really cool. I want to say thank you, Archangel Michael, for that. And I want to say, in truth, what he's saying is really true. That the moment you begin to learn how to teach your own mind and your own body to be still and quiet, you will start to reclaim your life from the world's enslavement of you. Because most humans are enslaved by the world, by the politics, by the man-made stuff. The greed, the anger, the avarice, the love, all these things that can be good or bad for us. But you need to begin that process. Good morning, everybody. Hi. Hello, hello. Yeah, we'll take a few questions before we go on. So, you're kind of funny. You come on here and you say, any messages for me today? Let me tell you, the message, if you've been listening, you do know the message today. You heard it. You heard it now. And welcome. Remember to like, subscribe, share this out. If you're on the live right now, share it out with people that you know that might benefit from this. I know we're going out to Q&A section now, but get them to go over to my YouTube channel. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and watch the replay of Archangel Michael's message today. Watch the replay of it, because it'll be on my YouTube channel about an hour or so after this live event is completed. But yeah, you want to get all the juicy details. Share it with other people. Don't be afraid to share this information with others. Get to it. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. Appreciate it. Good morning, William. Are you tired after translating? Just curious. Not at all. My energy, when they channel through me, always goes up. If you're channeling lower vibrational energies, your energy would go down. Or if you're trying to be an ego, people that are trying to be a special way, no, my energy goes up when I let them speak through me, because their vibration is very high. My body, it's like if you took an ice cube and you put a higher vibration like heat to the ice cube, it begins to change, right? So when they interact with me, whether it's Archangel Michael or Master Jesus or Buddha, my energy goes up. Whenever in our master class, when we're teaching, my energy always goes up. It's the most amazing and wonderful experience to experience the energy of the ascended masters and archangels. When you're truly moving through, their vibration takes your body up. It doesn't make you more tired. My body might look a little tired because I've been up late for a couple of nights, but that's the body. That I don't feel energetically low at all. Yes. Hello. Somebody saying I have deep fears at times. When you have those deep fears, Michael was alluding to it earlier, approach the parts of yourself that you're uncomfortable with love. Like when you have a fear, feel the fear, because if you've got fear, you got anger, you got guilt, you got shame, they live in you, because you're remembering. Emotions are remembered. Emotions are what we remember. Feelings are what we use to create change in our lives, but emotions are what we remember. Feelings are what we use to create change in our life. But when you feel those fears inside, bring your attention to your fear. Bring your attention to your fear and tell the fear, even though I do not understand you, I'm willing to love you. And you'll watch the vibration of fear will change in your body almost immediately. If you turn to your fear, even to your anxiety or to your guilt or to your shame. They taught me this and I love it. It's so simple and easy. And they teach the many others through me. The minute you approach a negative emotion inside yourself, not from the perspective, I don't like this, I get rid of it, I got to take some pill or drug to get rid of it. No, if you turn to your emotion, your fear, your anxiety, your guilt, your shame, if you turn and say, no matter how you feel, I'm willing to love you, even if I don't understand you. Because sometimes we don't understand why we feel, so you can't lie to yourself. So if you don't understand why you feel and you turn to that part and you say, I'm willing to love you, even though I don't understand you, you're telling the truth, and you'll feel that emotional change almost instantly, right? To some degree. It's not necessarily about changing the whole thing, but you'll feel some degree of change when you begin to approach an emotion that's unpleasant with your love instead of your attack and your resistance. Love is beautiful. It is. The older I get, the more I actually believe there is nothing after death, which might be easier. Well, you can believe that, but you're going to be in for a surprise when that moment happens. There is the death of the body, because the body is from this dimension. It's vibrationally, every molecule of this body is in attunement with this dimension. When the body decompiles, these molecules go back into the system, which is a recirculating system, and it just goes back. But you are not part of the circulating system. You are interfacing, much the same way as we're interfaced with each other through this technology. You're interfaced with this dimension through that body. And you are the operator of that system, but most people believe they are the system. And because you believe you are the system, when the system suddenly shuts down, what I've been told is called is the darkness of unconsciousness, because you're so attached to the locus of your identity being that body and the information in your mind that when it ceases to function, it's like covering your eyes. You see nothing, you know nothing, you hear nothing, because you believe that it's all gone. But in meditation, one of the things I've learned is I'm not my body. I'm not my mind. I'm not my thoughts. And you'll learn that more and more, and you'll start to experience things that are just incredible. You know, when you go into a meditative state and it feels like you don't even have a body. And I've caught myself in the past, in the beginning, when I first would feel like, my arm feels like it's not there, and I'd want to open my eyes to see if the arm was there or not. Now, when you start to go deeper beyond the five sensory self, get your mind quiet, get your body quiet, and when your mind and body are quiet, who are you? If your mind and body are put aside, then who are you? Who are you that observes your thoughts? Who are you that observes the emotions? Who are you? That's not the body self. What are my chances of awakening after 10 years of growth? I'm 62 now and worried about time left. Well, if you're worried about it, that's going to be its own impediment. Emotion organizes matter. But if you want to come to a really clear and distinct path of awakening, sign up for our masterclass. We got our Masterclass 101, which begins November the 2nd. I suggest you go and register for it now. It will take you on a journey, as so many have come on this journey in the last 5.5 years with us, on a journey of awakening. Masterclass 101 is called Awakening, so that you can get connected to the spiritual nature of what you are, to your being, and not to your body, mind. And you have a body, you have a mind, and you'll have that until you no longer need it. But you need to awaken to what you are as a spiritual consciousness, so that when the form and mind are no longer necessary, that you will not cease to exist. You will not become unconscious. That's what happens to a lot of souls that get into the belief that they are the mind, they are the body. When it ceases to function, they become unconscious. And that happens to a lot of people at night when they put their bodies to sleep. You forget. You forget that you are, because you're so attached to the body and the mind being you, that when you put them asleep, you are unconscious to being aware. But it's well documented in Buddhists and in many certain Christian sects where meditation is very important, that individuals can astrally project. In Eastern mysticism, you can astrally project, open your third eye. There are things you can do that demonstrate and have been proven that you are not your body, you are not your mind, and that you can move freely out of the body. So when the body ceases to exist, if you know you are conscious, you're not your body, then the body can cease to exist, and you'll move on vibrationally to another communication of experience that's in resonance with your consciousness. Hope you understand that. But yeah, come sign up for the masterclasses. Hello, good to see you here. Does my dear cousin Dory have a message for me? Yeah, the first thing I got was the sweet smell of success. I don't know why, but those are the first words that came in. And then I had a bunch of other stuff my mind tried to make up, but that was the first thing that came in, right? The sweet smell of success. What do you mean by that? Yes. She says, I am awake. I am awake. I remember. I am. Wow, that's really cool. Good morning, Tanya. I've been meditating all the time, still have difficulty hearing them. Okay, so if you're not hearing them, don't try hearing them, try feeling them. Just as you have 5 physical senses of sight, sound, touch, taste, and smell, you have 4 spiritual senses. Clairvoyance, which means clear seeing, clairaudience, which means clear hearing, clairsentience, which means clear feeling, and claircognizance, which means clear knowing. If you're not hearing, it may not be your dominant spiritual sense. It may be very undeveloped. I know you're striving to develop clairaudience, but what about allowing for these other clairs to be made? Ask to be given a feeling. Ask them to give you a feeling in your meditation, or ask them to give you a picture in your meditation. Ask them to give them a knowing. Don't just depend upon hearing them, because your dominant spiritual sense might not be hearing at this time. It doesn't sound like it is because you're not hearing. But getting to that place where you have expectation, I want to hear. That may not be your sense to open yet. Try clairvoyance. Try asking to be shown. Ask them to show themselves to you. Or ask them to give you a feeling of their presence. Or ask them to give you a clear knowing of their presence that you're ready to receive. Thank you. Thank you so much. Hi, Amanda. Amanda said, I had a nightmare last night, and it was the first time I was able to control myself to wake up from it right away. Congratulations, Amanda. Yeah, there's a lot of manipulation going on through technology today, where they can project thoughts into people's minds now. I'm not kidding. They can project thoughts into people's minds now. Why do you think some of these people do crazy batshit stuff out of nowhere? People, I don't know why they did that. Because there's technology that can influence and affect your mind through technology. That's why it's so important to learn to develop, like Michael said, and again, I'm paraphrasing what he said, that you must learn to teach your mind and body to be still and quiet. You must teach your mind and body so that it does not assert authority over you. That way people can't influence you so easily by what they say or what's projected at you electromagnetically. Because your technology is doing that. Think about it. You can say a word and your phone is suddenly showing you things like, you might say a word like blanket, and all of a sudden you're getting advertisements about blankets, right? So they can project the energy at you, and they can receive energy from you and respond to it. Can we still, so I'm being asked to, great question. Thu Nguyen is asking, I hope I'm pronouncing your name properly. Thu Nguyen. Hi, William. Can we still meditate on the other side? You move from the need to meditate to the state of being. In the state of being, you can you're a function of creation. Meditation is not necessary from the perspective of being, because you're already in a state of meditation. Meditation is necessary to extricate yourself from subjectivity or enslavement to the mind and body. Meditation's only function is to liberate you from being enslaved to the mind and body. So in that sense, you could say that meditation is necessary to get to that place of being beyond the mind and body, so that if something happens to it, you do not necessarily need it to remember who you are. You will already know who you are. The function of creation is what occurs. This is what begins to occur when the practice of meditation becomes properly established in your consciousness, and you are able to assert your will over matter, time, and space. Then the function of creation, you become as your Creator intended you to be, in its image and likeness, which is the Creator. Wow, that's really cool. Nice question. Question. In your meditation, where you don't feel your body, how do you use that moment to create something new? Is it through a feeling? This is a great question, and we address this in our Masterclass 103 Creation, which we're in the middle of right now. We're in week 2 of that program, where it's not from the body that creation occurs, it's from your consciousness. But in that place where the purpose in getting the place where your mind and body are no longer influencing you, then yes, you can consider asking to receive an idea that you need to receive, because when you gain a connection to this other aspect of being that's not localized to the content of your mind and body, as you gain access to this other aspect of your being, you gain access to what science calls a quantum field. In that, all the unknown information becomes available to your consciousness. You can make a statement when you're in that place where the mind and body are out of the way, and you can make a clear request. I want to receive ideas or information about what I need to do in this world now. So yes, you can go into the function of creation by requesting information from that other source. Most people are trying to make creation happen from what they already know. And because of what you already know is only what you already know, you can only get combinations and permutations of the information that you have in your mind. And a lot of people are trying to create from their own mind rather than going to the source of energy of all ideas, right? But that's a great question. Thanks for asking it. How do I deal with an adult child that keeps bringing up mistakes I've made in the past? Sorry, I don't know if I want to say that live. Yeah. That's called gaslighting. That's called manipulation. That's called guilting. Tell them to figure it out. Tell them to get out and figure it out. They cannot continue to hold you responsible because they do not wish to be responsible. And they are manipulating your energy for their own pettiness, their own littleness. They are too afraid that they may not be able to create what they came here to create because they are so attached to their own fear and suffering. They are so attached to their own inadequacy that they cannot change. And so they will keep you in a state of guilt and shame so that you will take care of them and they can remain inadequate. You must put them into a position where they must grow. Do not let them manipulate you. Do not let them manipulate you anymore. Wow. Yeah, I had to censor part of what was originally said. But I can use the two words F you. That's the first words they gave me to say to that person about them trying to blame you and attack you over and over again for past mistakes. It means they don't want to take responsibility for the present, right? How do I deal with... Oh yeah, we got that. What happens to those of us that lose ourselves to addictions and vices? Oh, this is a great question. I mean, when I tune in the answer, again, the emotional energy that you choose to stay bonded to, and addiction, because I'm very familiar with addiction from my own experience. Addiction is a way of trying to stay comfortable because we do not have the resources to understand how to deal with the mechanics of our emotional energy. And so we find a way to take away the symptomology of those emotions, which could be sadness, guilt, shame, anger, rage. Doesn't matter what the emotional drive is or sensation. The moment you begin a process of teaching your mind and your body how to be still and how to be quiet, the minute you begin to initiate that and they begin to respond to you, then the function of addiction will be spontaneously less necessary because you're learning how to manage from the perspective of compassion and love the emotional state that you're carrying inside your mind and body. Addictions are simply the function of old emotions that you do not know how to release. And as a result of not knowing how to release them, those emotions have sustained behaviors that correspond to them. Every emotion you hold and harbor in your mind and in your body has a function of behavior. When you can change an emotion in your mind and body, you will change the function of behavior. But many of you do not understand this. that the moment you begin to learn how to change the function of emotion in your own mind and body, you will change the function of behavior. And if the function of that behavior is addictive in nature, the moment the emotion changes, then the function of addiction will change to correspond to the change. It is very simple. There are biological nuances that can be considered in that the body can be distorted by the function of addiction to such a degree and extent that it may be deficient in certain elements that will need to be provided for as it's restored to proper chemical and electrical balance. But the process of teaching your mind and teaching your body to be still, to be quiet, to be peaceful, the moment you begin to realize that you have the authority to do so, your mind and body will begin to spontaneously move towards peace. They will spontaneously begin to recalibrate electrically and chemically. When you establish your mind and body into a state of peace, they will naturally begin to recalibrate into proper chemical and electrical balance. Wow. Go join our Masterclass 102, starts November the 2nd. Go to my website, WilliamMichaelForbes.com, and learn directly from the Ascended Masters. They'll teach you. In the class, each class is 3 weeks long. And literally, they come on 3 times a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, Friday. We also have a team of other mediums that work with you as well, with certain practices that will help you open up these internal faculties you have of clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, claircognizance. At the very least, you will find a sense of well-being that you are able to develop inside yourself. That's phenomenal. That 3-week course, I cannot tell you how many people's lives have been changed in the last 5.5 years. And prior to this, you would never have heard me talking about I love Jesus or I love Archangel Michael or I believe in angels or guides. You would not have heard me talking about it in that fashion 5.5 years ago. This has been a very fascinating journey. But yeah, come sign up. I've already felt I was a cat in another life. Is that possible? Thank you. Absolutely. What a weird world. I think we get reborn into another life. Maybe this is a prison planet. Well, it's only a prison planet as long as you're bound by the belief that you are just a mind and body. As a soul, you can move to many dimensions. And when they do meditations in our master classes, we've had students that go off and do incredible things. We've had people experience, well, I have no way to describe it or define it necessarily, but you can experience some pretty amazing things when you know how to step out of your mind and body. And a lot of people are trying to do that by unaliving themselves, right? People are trying to do that. I used to call it suicide in my day, right? Where you do not know how to manage your own thoughts and body, and so you think you've got no other way. You got to get away from it. But in our master classes, you will learn a simple and easy to follow system of how to interact with your mind and body in a way that I've never known before this. And we might have some, if I've got any students here, please share your experience of what happened, especially if you were dealing with depression or anxiety or guilt or shame of an intense nature. Share it with others what has changed for you as a result of your interaction with the Ascended Masters and our other mediums in the master classes. But we've watched it many times. People go from a state of absolute rage to a state of love, a state of depression to a state of bliss. The moment you're able to differentiate yourself from the mind and body, you can then have the authority to remake your mind and body in a way that's more pleasing to you instead of being subjugated to what the world has made your body and mind into. Because that's how most people are struggling. People are struggling because your mind and body have been made by the world. You've been taught what to think, you've been taught what to believe, you've been told what to eat and what not to eat. And when you start to take that authority back, well, peace is the natural result. I like what was said just a couple minutes ago. When you teach your mind and body to be still and quiet and peaceful, when you teach it, you'll begin to remember who you are. You'll know who you are again. Your suffering will begin to end. Wow. I was typing to chat and I had a text open and everything I said went into the text. That's funny. Hi. You can stay in the loop. You can stay in the cycle of birth and death and rebirth and birth. You can continue to stay in that cycle and have fun doing it. But most people stay in the cycle and they suffer for endless lifetimes, playing the same game in different ways over and over again. But you can change it now. Caitlin's asking, could you please tell me why I'm feeling unsafe and what I can do to feel protected again? Okay, so the unsafe feeling, Caitlin, I want you to sit down, if you're not already sitting down, sit down, take a deep breath and close your eyes. And I want you to turn your attention to that unsafe feeling. Yes, I know there are things that are connected to it, but the moment you change energy, you change what happens around you. So get connected to that unsafe feeling. Really get close to it. Feel where that feeling is the most unsafe. Just bring your awareness to the place where it's the most unsafe. And as you get there, communicate this thought to that unsafe feeling. Communicate this thought to it. No matter what you think or feel or believe, I am with you and I will take care of you because I love you. Communicate those thoughts to that unsafe feeling in a tone of voice that sounds like you really mean it. I'm with you, I love you, and I will take care of you. Just communicate those thoughts to that unsafe feeling and watch what happens to it. And repeat those thoughts sincerely and slowly to it. I'm with you, I love you, I will take care of you. And and as you do that, feel what happens, and then share what you experience in the comment section, Caitlin. Really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Good question. Good consideration. Jen's hearing, I can't recommend the courses enough. Words cannot describe it. Every time I do a course is different and exactly what I needed at the time. Jen's got a question. Any message for me about my current podcast idea? Go team go! That's what I'm getting for you, Jen. Go team go. Go team go. It's literally just like that. Janin saying, I've taken Masterclass 102. Currently, I'm taking Masterclass 103 right now. It's life-changing. Just take the class. You won't regret it. Thank you so much, Janin. Jen saying, yes, I can't wait to get back into it. Yeah, go to my website, WilliamMichaelForbes.com. Register for our Masterclass series today. Don't waste time. Can my guides tell me what I should be doing in this new season? First and foremost, teach your mind and body to be still. Begin there. In the stillness, you have the opportunity to hear what your mind cannot say. Wow. In the stillness, you have the chance to hear what your mind cannot say. I love that. Got to remember that one. In the stillness, you can hear what your mind cannot say. I love it. I'm getting goosebumps. Lovely. So karma exists in this lifetime, not brought on by a past life. We can call karma an effect of a cause. Karma is an effect of a cause. Now, that cause is something that you either initiated in this life or another life. The cause is sustained and maintained by an emotion that you can carry. You can carry feelings and memories into each lifetime. You can carry old emotions, old memories in your consciousness. You look at a cross-section of a tree, for example. A tree, they say it's a 50-year-old tree. And they can take a cross-section of that tree, and you can see the different rings. And from those rings, they can extrapolate different things like weather experiences, what happened for the tree in that year. Your lifetimes are like that. You start at a beginning point when you first originated in a time-space matter, and each lifetime is like a ring in those trees. And they're part of you. And you can change, as a human, not as a tree, as a human, you can change the past emotional energy, the energy, emotions you bring up from past lifetimes, and you can change emotional energy that you've been given or have created in this lifetime. When you change an emotion, you change the function of energy or behavior. When you change the function of behavior, it changes the karma. So if you got angry, carry a lot of angry emotions over from another lifetime, and you suddenly start to heal and transform that anger, you begin to move that energy of anger from anger to compassion. Then the function of behavior, or the function of karma, if you like, changes. Change the emotion, the function of effect or karma changes correspondingly. That's what I've been taught these last 5 years. Great question. I'm here to be a passenger, princess. Okay, so, well, hey, princess, have fun with that. It's good to go along for the ride and sit back. You know, if you're in Venice and you're lying on that gondola and he's just paddling you along, that's fun to do that too, right? You get to decide. You are a creator. It's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah. Question, was this big light an airplane flying erratically at 2 a.m.? You know exactly what it was, Danielle. It wasn't an airplane. It wasn't an airplane. Well, hello there. Good to see you here. Thank you for the badges. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the subscribes. Remember, share this with other people. Share these live events to people. We go live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. And our goal is very simple. The liberation of humanity from suffering. The restoration of love in the fabric of human collective unconsciousness. This is an ascension channel. Ascension is moving your consciousness from a frequency of fear to the creative power of love. Now, fear is a creative force as well. But the purpose of this channel is to assist human collective unconsciousness in moving from the fear energy back into the love energy. Because fear has all the children like greed and control and manipulation and violence and aggression. Love has the opposite, right? And you cannot serve two masters. You can only serve one or the other. And we're here to facilitate the restoration of love to human collective unconsciousness. Yes, it is. So I'm just watching. D-Death. Enjoy your coffee. Please do. I really am. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the essence of it with you. I used to love coffee tremendously. We got some of our students here on TikTok sharing some of our activities that they give us in Masterclass. That's beautiful. Who can I ask for? Somebody's asking, who can I ask? I'm getting, you can ask for Master Saint Germain. Who are you, you beautiful soul? Let's see, Cleopatra. Ask for Master Saint Germain in your meditation. Ask for him to come to you and give you a transforming idea. Ask him for that. He's telling me he'll give it to you if you're willing to do that work. Hi. Yes. You've got to realize, somebody's saying here, I use that frequently. I use this idea of be still, be quiet, be peaceful. Your mind and your body are instruments. They're not who you are. You know, this body is not who you are. That body you're in is not who you are. The mind that you have is not who you are. They are instruments. Unfortunately, your instrument was packaged and filled with a bunch of stuff before you were given authority over it. You should have been given authority. You should have been taught about how to control your body, how to quiet your mind when you were very young. Unfortunately, you weren't. You were taught to watch this TV show and listen to this thing. Mommy says this, and Daddy says this, and teacher says this, and they do that, and you've got your mind filled with all that. But they're not you. The content of your mind is not you. The structure of your body is not you. These are instruments for the transmission of creative consciousness, manifesting conditions in time, space, and matter. In understanding this consideration, it would be of value to you to recognize that you can say to your mind, as you let the world tell you who you are, you can say to your mind, be still, be still, be still, be still. You can instruct your mind as you allowed the world to instruct your mind, and in some cases, some of you the world forced itself into your mind, whether you liked it or not. But you can reclaim the authority that you by birth naturally have over your mind and body. We facilitate that process if you're willing to take the time and the effort to join us and experience the simplicity of how your consciousness is designed to have authority over your experience in this world. It is quite wonderful. Happy to see you too. Somebody says, I have a peaceful word list that I recite often, daily, always, strengthening with breath and work. Beautiful, wonderful, it's a great idea. That's one of the things they've taught us too. Hi Kay, are you familiar with the 7-day Adventist? Can you ask if it's good or bad to follow? Well, you need to follow the path in. Most organized religions are not designed to connect you directly to the divinity that already exists within you. Most religions in this world are designed to keep you separate from that there is something outside of you that will lead you to that which is already within you. But they will tell you that they are the source, they are the way on how you get to the divine. Even your ascended master Jesus did not say, I am God. He never spoke those words. He said, I and the Father are one. He never said, I am God. But they use the function of religion to place themselves between you and the divine that is already within you. You need to go within, quiet your mind, quiet your body, be still to know that which you are seeking from them is within you already. The path is inward, not outward. The confusion and suffering of many is because you think the path is outward and not inward. That you do not understand that adding more dogma or information from the world to your mind keeps you more entrenched in the world mind. But to learn to quiet the mind, be still. Be still and know I am God. Not that you are God, but that you will know that God that is within you. And you can be one with that God, and you are. But most of your system, religion and education are designed specifically to keep you enslaved to the mind and enslaved to the body, enslaved to your senses. And the few in the religions who are of good spirit are of sincere love and authority, while their voices have been muted by those in control and power and authority over your religions. You think that the empires of old have died. They have not died. They are now your religions. The Roman Empire lives as the Catholic Church. The Muslim Empire lives. They all live. The Jewish Empire lives. The empires still live as religions. If you want to book a reading with me, go to my website, WilliamMichaelForbes.com. Check it out. Click on the Linktree link in my bio on TikTok or under any one of my YouTube videos, and you can book a reading with me. You can check out our masterclass series. You can ask a personal or private question that you may not want to have answered here. You can ask that in private. For a small donation, I'll do that very, very happily. I'm just started reading lots of questions here. Here we go. Hi, Drusilla. Yeah, Drusilla's saying, yeah, Jen, when you got your podcast up, remember to come on the show and put the link up for us. Van Twinkle, thanks for the love. Oh, thank you so much for that super chat, Van Twinkle. I really appreciate it. Love, love, love. Thank you so much. Right back at you. Recently, when I pray, I hear ringing sound and feel tingling underneath my feet. When you feel that tingling sensation under your feet, allow the vibration of that energy to come up. Let it flow up to the point of the third eye. Hi there. So I'm trying, wow, over. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. So I got a lot of questions. Yes, I am not my body. That's wonderful. You know that. I'm going to learn your teachings and pass them on. Wonderful. Come and join us, Cleopatra. Go to my website, WilliamMichaelForbes.com. It's a 3-week program. Every one of our courses is 3 weeks long. And they run from Sundays to Friday for 3 weeks. And every day there's a 1-hour lesson, a live lesson that happens in the classes with either one of our mediums, our nutritional specialists, because we believe it's very important that you have a vibration. You raise the vibration of your body. You raise the frequency of your body up. So you'll learn about nutrition to raise the vibration of your body. And you'll be working with the Ascended Masters and our other mediums to do the practices and the meditations that let you connect to the nature of your being and how to help you learn to differentiate between mind and body so that you can begin to function as a divine organism that you're designed to function as while you're in this world. You came here to give a gift to the world of being, not to be enslaved to it. Thank you. I appreciate that. If you're on YouTube, TikTok, you might be hearing dings and bells. I'm using a microphone that might pick up a lot of background noise, so don't worry about it. What does my partner's guides and angels want him to know? Grounding. He needs to ground, and something about what is it? They're saying there's something he needs to eat. But grounding is very important. What is that? Be careful. Tell him to be careful about what he speaks. But he needs to do some grounding. Get his feet on the ground. And be careful about what he speaks. Get his feet on the ground. Hi. Hello, Drusilla. I love you so much. You're beautiful. Does my father have a message for me? I never met him and felt unwanted for years. Your father was always with you. He was always with you. Whenever you thought you were feeling unwanted, that's when you were being wanted. He was trying to connect you energetically. You're probably getting goosebumps right now because you can feel the truth of the vibration. But he was always with you. He was trying to communicate to you in those moments where you thought he was not there. That's when he was with you. He says he realizes that you needed certain guidance that you thought you could only get from him. He says, I led you to people that gave you what I could not because you were not able to hear me. This is his higher self speaking, by the way. But yeah, he was always with you. Yes, his higher self was always with you. Still with you. He says when you release the lie that you were not loved, get ready for the fireworks. When you release the lie that you were not loved, get ready to receive the fireworks. Wow. And that means some really amazing things are going to start happening to you when you release the lie that you were not loved. Because that's what he says, that's what's been keeping you stuck. You kept holding on this illusion that you were not loved. Was my dream of my son real or just a memory? Thank you. It was absolutely real. But the brain, remember the human brain, when your loved ones leave the physical dimension, they don't have a body. They can't talk to you in words. They don't have arms and legs to touch you or walk around with you. They are our spirit. They are non-physical energy now. But they're still energy. And you've got an energy field around your body. So that when our loved ones interact with our energy field, our brain registers that movement in the energy and reacts in response to it. So you get memories of them. That's the way your brain can respond to their energy. So when you find yourself suddenly dreaming about your son or you're suddenly thinking about him, it's because his energy is present with you and you can sit down and spend some time with him. But he was really grateful and happy to be able to be so close and intimate with you that way, that you could be that close again. And you can be that close again just by being open and receptive to knowing that his presence is still in existence. He just doesn't have a physical body. When the body ceases to function, they don't have physical words or physical touch anymore. but they are still being in consciousness. Thank you so much for that. Hi. Oh, it's wonderful that you can see vibrational energy. That's clairvoyance. When you can see fields and auras and stuff like that, that's the beginning of clairvoyance, clear seeing, which means you can perceive spectrums of energy and consciousness beyond the visual spectrum. It's the third eye opening. Congratulations, Cleopatra. Any messages from my angels, please, and thank you, and on how I will recover from my health and rebirth. Again, I cannot stress enough, take the master classes. You'll be introduced. We have a nutritional specialist, runs a program and runs her own company called Oasis Health. And she's an expert in her field. Being able to introduce you to elements of nutrition that will change the vibrational state of your body if you're willing to follow the program, right? And she works with us in all of our courses. She shows up once a week and does a full hour on nutrition each week with everybody. And we have our other mediums who spend an hour with you as well. So we got 3 other mediums that will spend an hour. So you're getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. You're getting about 12 hours of instruction every week. Live instruction if you're able to make the lives. If you're not able to make the lives, then the replays for every live are placed on a private group wall where you can observe and evaluate the lessons in reflection. But you'll never miss an event. You'll always be able to get them. Somebody's saying it's also clear when you explain it. Yeah, I know it's always clear when they explain it. Understand, this is information I'm being given. What you're hearing me speak is being given to me as it's spoken. It just flows through. They are very clear and simple, and that's one of the things I love about it. They said to me, unnecessary complexity creates confusion. When things can be done simply, people learn much easily, more efficiently. And our master classes are based on that level of simplicity and vibration, because they transmit their frequency directly to us. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Yeah. Your mother is not with you, Uzma. She's not with you. She's in another lifetime now. She's in another lifetime. But if I tap into her higher self, which still carries the sense of the memory of the other lifetime, she says she's much happier when you choose to be happier at that level of being. Choose to be happy. Yes, your pet is not with you anymore. They've completely left. They did kickstart your spiritual journey. Because they because of your love for them, you want to feel their presence, and it forced you to start opening up your clairsentience, which is being able to feel different levels of consciousness, different frequencies of energy, physical and non-physical. Meow. Thank you so much. Hi. Oh, we'll find out where that person is there. There we go. So I'm trying to catch up on all these questions. I don't think we'll be able to get to them all today. But that's okay. If you didn't get a question answered today, you can just use the Linktree link in my bio. And if you want, add a tip to my tip jar and put your question when you put the tip in the tip jar, and you'll get your question answered, especially if it's a private or personal question. You know, give a small donation of $1, $2, put it in my tip jar. And that tip jar can be found through the Linktree link in my TikTok bio, or on the description in any of my videos on my YouTube channel below that. So I got all this other information coming in too. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. How do we know if it's an old feeling from a previous life? This is a great question. Emotions are old memories. Emotions are old memories. Feelings are what we generate as a spiritual entity. You use feelings to change energy. You can change an old emotion with your energy. You can change an old emotion with your energy. So yeah, if it's an emotion, especially if it's like a really deep, painful emotion, it tends to be more from the past lives as well. The more intense the emotion, the further back in your past it may be. I went through a period of very deep and painful anxiety and points of where I was sexually abused for years because of events in previous lifetimes. So you want to really get yourself into alignment with love and kindness and compassion and peace so that you no longer have to keep replaying those old consequences. Yeah, that's how you tell, quite simply. The more painful an emotion, the further back from the past it comes. You're very welcome. Thank you. Hi. Hopefully I'm on the right path. You're always on the right path. Hi, William. I have a situation going on with my little girl. Can you see if this will turn around? First and foremost, beautiful soul, first and foremost, you need to relinquish the fear, and restore the love. Feel the depth of your love in your heart, and let that love fill your body, and then let that love go out to all of those involved. Let your love go out to all of those involved. Let the transmission of your love orchestrate the change that you yourself have been unable to. Let the vibration of your love do this. As vibrational energies organize matter, the movement of emotional energy organizes all material experiences. So let yourself be connected to the love that is what you are, and let that be transmitted to all those involved in the situation, and sustain and maintain that transmission even in the face of that which would seem to oppose it. Wow. Thank you so much for that. Hi. Hi, Sula. Asking, can I please send a spiritual guide for a message? Yeah. Again, letting go of that undercurrent of anxiety. They're saying you keep holding on to this undercurrent of fear. You have to let go of that. You have to literally let go of that undercurrent of fear. It's like you're caught in a riptide, right, of emotion. You have to let go of that. You have to get out of that undercurrent of fear. And they're saying then they're going to give you a step. They're going to give you an obvious step. Once you can pull yourself out of that current of that they're saying, they're very specific. This is an underlying current of fear in the back of your mind. The minute you can move yourself out of that undercurrent, they're going to give you something that will give you direction. Very precise and specific, and you'll know that it's from them. Yes. Yes. Hi. Did Paul lie in the New Testament? No, Paul didn't lie in the New Testament. When the books, when the religion, understand, when the teachings of Master Jesus, became an existential threat to the Roman Empire, they arranged to have him murdered. For starters, he was not crucified. He was murdered. Jesus was not crucified, he was murdered. Understand that. There's a big difference. They tell you crucifixion, but he was murdered. And he gave his life because he was told that if he gave his life, they would spare all of his disciples. They would spare them. That's what he was told. And his disciples weren't just the primary 12, Peter, Paul, etc. His disciples were everybody that was now embracing his teaching. We've seen the same thing happen with the Falun Gong movement in China, 20 years ago, where Falun Gong, people getting connected to their spirituality was getting becoming an existential threat to the Chinese government. So they began to kill all the followers. The Romans did exactly the same thing with Jesus. They murdered him. He gave himself up. He didn't have to give himself up. He gave himself up under condition that they would leave those that were following his teachings alone. They lied. And then they took what he taught and repurposed it and repackaged it into the religion that you know of today as Roman Catholicism. And they changed a lot about what he taught and what Paul taught and what his disciples taught, because they all taught the same truth in slightly different ways, of course. So the language of the Bible was restructured in such a way as to leave some elements of truth to keep people believing in what was they were told to read this Bible. Remember, for 300 years after they murdered Master Jesus, for 300 years, they went and they murdered everyone that followed his precise teachings. It took them 300 years to do what they believed would stamp out the complete truth of what Jesus taught. They failed. But they murdered hundreds of thousands of people, which was a lot of people in that time, to try and stamp out this concept that you have God within you, that you can connect to God within you and be free, and you can create and change and transform the world in beautiful ways. Because that's not a model of control and power and authority. Anyway, I don't want to get into it. So the words were changed, but Paul did not lie, nor did any of Master Jesus' disciples lie. But in the way it was rewritten was to rewrite it so that it would enslave people to the now Roman Catholic religion. It is not hard to unlearn after 50 years. Come to our master classes. For the master classes, you will become more aware of who you are. We've had people that have been in therapy, were in therapy for 10 years, 15 years. They come to the master class, they don't need the therapy anymore because they learn how to operate their own mind and body. We have people that give up drugs and pills and things they no longer need anymore because they now have authority and control over their own mind and body. It's your body, it's your mind. You're designed by nature to be able to have authority over it. But it's not hard to unlearn what you've been taught. You can, especially when you're being given instructions from the Ascended Masters. It's really easy when you follow the simple instructions, because there's nothing complex. But we've been taught to think that learning how to be free, you've been taught, oh, it's hard to end all this pain. You were abused for 7 years and you're going to suffer your whole life as a result. That's bullshit. If anybody tells you that a bad experience, I went through 7 years of very intense sexual and emotional abuse at the hands of a stepfather. And I'll tell you, it was horrific. And I'll also tell you, it did not define my whole life, and it will not define my whole life. If anything, it enriched it. But you have to understand the nature of experiences, how you created those experiences for yourselves, and then learn to take responsibility for your energy. But you've been taught to believe that you can't get over it. It's going to need years of therapy for that. Bullshit. When you learn to have authority over your... Yes, things can hurt you and upset you and cause you pain and trauma. But you can also learn how to manage or interact or shift or change the way that pain or trauma operates for you. You can literally change your own mind, change your emotions, and change your body. You can. It's true. But you're not being told that. You're being told, oh, well, that was such a trauma for them. They're never going to get over it. That's bullshit. You can get over it. It might be a little more difficult, but you can. I find Bibles are full of fear and bullshit written by man with only an element of spirituality. There is some truth to that, but there are, do understand there are some fundamental grains of truth in every religious book. That the original founders, because remember, the original founders are dead. And the people that took over from them leveraged that system to have control, power, and authority over people. That's all. Quite simple. Give them a set of rules. You do this, you think this, you be this. Nobody can step outside the framework of that. But yeah, there's still some valuable truths in all religious scriptures and texts, if you know how to read between the lines. Like the statement, the statement in Christian mythology where they say, what a man believeth in his heart, so it shall be. What are they talking about? They're talking about your subconscious mind. And they're now revealing in conventional modern psychology and psychotherapy that the subconscious mind governs most of our behavior. So that truth is in there. They put little truths in there that are true, and you can feel the truth. Everybody can feel the truth. And that little bit of truth keeps a lot of people seduced into all the bullshit that's surrounding that truth. So they give a little grain of truth and put a lot of bullshit. And they do this in movies and television all the time. They put you through this fear of the virus and the terror and stuff like that. And then one heroic moment at the end, they give you a little bit of goodness and a lot of shit around it, right? It's a lot, and that's how entertainment works today. Entertainment is not designed to liberate you. The entertainment today is designed to enslave you to ideas and beliefs and mythologies that are not true. That's wonderful. Yeah, there are good programs like AA, wonderful programs that do a lot of good work for people. There really is. There really is. I can't even catch up with you guys today. This is the first time this happened. I'm loving it. Hi, welcome. Welcome. Someone's saying, hello, Gen X. No, it ain't. For me, in knowing the unknown is what's required to change your life. Yes, you have to know the unknown to change your life. Woo, goosebumps. Change your life. What you have in your mind, what you've been taught by the world to believe. Okay, what you've been taught to believe by the world is what you know. And if you're suffering because of what you know, you have to get outside of what you know. And like again, I'm going to paraphrase here what Archangel Michael was saying earlier in the transmission day about getting your mind and your body to be quiet, calm, and peaceful. Because when your mind and body are quiet, calm, and peaceful, you're outside of what you know and you're into what you do not know, or at least in that layer of perception where you can begin to gain access to all the information that you don't know, because the information you do not know is infinitely vaster than what you know. What humanity knows collectively, what we all know as a species collectively, is a grain of sand on a cosmic beach of knowledge and wisdom, right? So anyway, keep that in mind. Yeah, what you don't know, that's a really great sentiment. Thank you for sharing it. It's beautiful. Do you need to take the courses starting with number 1? I recommend you start off with Masterclass 101 because it's an awakening program designed to introduce you to the concept of spiritual mediumship, how to operate your mind and body, how to begin to change the vibration of your body through diet, how to begin to meditate. It lays down a foundation, but it's not a prerequisite. You can take Masterclass 102 without having to take 101. But again, I recommend that when they gave us the courses, they literally downloaded these courses to us and said, this is what you're going to teach, this is how you're going to teach it, and the sequence it needs to be taught in to lead people from where they are to this point of self-awareness. So I highly recommend going to Masterclass 101. Again, it starts November the 2nd. And again, it will be, even if you're already well-versed in spirituality, if you're already doing some channeling or mediumship and talking to your guides and angels, it will still take you into a whole other dimension of consciousness, because when they speak through me, the energy is just mind-blowing. Anyway, and our other mediums are awesome. We have a great team of people. Our nutritionalist is an amazing soul and a beautiful being. He's totally love-centered. You're going to learn a lot. So I would recommend you start at Masterclass 101 Awakening. And thank you for asking. Can you please ask my spiritual guides if they can give me a message, please? Well, there's two things that happen. Somebody's asked for a message from their father, and I don't know why, but I'm a horse in a rodeo, and he's waving his hat. This is what you're getting. A man on a rodeo waving his hat. Okay, that's what your father's message is to you for number 1. As the next person who's asking about your guides and angels, if I tune into them, grounding is very important for you right now. Not just saying with your feet. Go outside, sit on the ground, put your hands on the ground and put your bare feet on the ground and just sit on the ground like that for about 20 minutes, okay? That's gonna shift a few things for you. I got it. Thank you so much. Welcome, everybody. Hi. You're very welcome. Hi. Well, guys, I couldn't subscribe today, but I will. I need nutritional help. If you're needing nutritional help, Cleopatra, go check in with Oasis Health. Look up Oasis Health. I think she's Rita. Yes, Rita. You can see her name on our program. But Rita will certainly be very beneficial in helping you evaluate the nutritional components that you might need for your body and your body type at this time. So yeah, go to Oasis Health website, and there she's based in Markham. Yes. Hi. Thank you. Do my baby sister Linda have any important information for me and my mom? I just get this weird giggling sound, like like a giggling sound. Playful. She's gonna be pranking you guys today. She's gonna prank you guys today. So get ready for that. She's gonna pull a prank on you guys today. Get ready for it. Yes, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Wonderful. Let love be the singular agenda. Oh, I love that. Whoever said that. That's beautiful. That's Slim Wolf, I think. Hi. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. And we're catching up here. Can you tell me if my 30-year best friend is okay? She is distant and not talking to me. I can tell you that she is okay. Okay. She's not as happy as she would like to be, but she's okay. I can tell you that much. Well, guys, I'm gonna have to get going. The day is quickly passing. I've been delighted and honored to have each and every one of you here today. I hope to see you guys on the Monday edition of Shortcuts for Your Soul. We go live Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time here on TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. If you want to know more about our courses, classes, and get enrolled, and I recommend you enroll sooner rather than later, go to my website, WilliamMichaelForbes.com, where you can book a reading, you can book a specialized meditation, customized meditation for certain conditions in your life you might want to fix, heal. You can also book a private one-on-one session with me. So go to my website, check that all out, look at the course descriptions there, and if it resonates with you, come join us. And I'll see you guys in November. And for the rest of you, I see you guys on Monday at 10 a.m. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Much love, everybody. Have yourselves a wonderful and a joyful day. Bye for now.